30 days of still life drawings. I wasn't allowed to erase or restart or anything like that. It was just straight, you see it, you draw it, that's it. So this is day 1. And I picked a doll mirror mostly because I had never tried anything with reflections before. And so I thought, oh, well, give it a try on my first day, why not? I learned a lot from this, especially just starting out with this challenge. I had never done anything like this before. I've just started this year doing still lifes, so this is all new to me. Was just learning, and I learned a lot, actually. 10 out of 10 would recommend this challenge. So this is day 2, and I decided to draw a paint tube, mostly because I had never really done metals before, or like metallics, and this was supposed to be like a shiny silver color. And so I did my best to capture that, and I think I did pretty well. I definitely started learning more about how important these really bright highlights are, especially against this black toned paper. I like drawing against toned paper because you can get more values out of your colors. Like, you can go lighter, you can go darker. It really helps with stuff like that instead of like starting on white paper. This is day number 3. And I chose my Colorado flag chapstick. Not really sure why. I think I just found it and was like, oh, I might as well try that. It's got some cool colors in there. And I think this is the first time I realized that colors on this black paper was gonna be really hard. Like, the yellow would not brighten at all. And I don't know if it's the texture of the paper or what. But I personally found it really hard to make that yellow and that red any brighter than it already was. And again, with the highlights, just playing around with that. This one I don't think had actually that dramatic of a highlight. I just added it in there for some reason, but it turned out okay. So this is day number 4. I chose to do a fake succulent inside of a glass with like some sand and rocks in there. It was just something I had around my house, and I was like, wow, that could be really fun to do. And it was definitely a challenge when it came to like the glass, so that you could tell that there was something like there without something being there, you know, like implying that something is there, because glass is hard and I never thought it would be this difficult. But I really liked doing the sand. I remember never noticing the shadows in something like this before, but doing this, I definitely realized that there is a harsh line right here that separates like where the glass curves with the sand and the light hitting the tops and not hitting the sides. So that was really interesting, and I liked this one a lot. This is day number 5. Definitely one of my least favorite drawings that I've done. I think I was kind of struggling to find things that weren't as complicated as day number 4. Still gave me some kind of a challenge, and these definitely did that. They were like little pebble things like this. And I was like, well, it'll give me the challenge with the clear and the lighting and all of that. And it did. The shapes in there were definitely hard to pin down, but not much I can say about day number 5. Day number 6 was definitely more fun for me. This was something I just started to figure out in this process, was that I don't have enough stuff around my house to just draw. So I went to a craft store and I just found the things that were like little things that were on sale that I thought I would like to try to draw, and started doing that, and this was one of those. The challenge was definitely the metal again. I'm just getting better at this point. This is one of my favorite ones that I did. Mostly the highlights is what really sold this for me. I think this was right around the time I started using the gel pen as well. I added the highlights later to those other drawings, but I remember just starting to use that gel pen for this, and it made so much of a difference. I love this one so much. Day number 7 was really tough for me, and I think that's when perspective came into play a lot. Was these semi-see-through dice that had like white numbers on them. So the numbers were only white when the light was showing on them, whereas since they were indented. They were not white on the sides, so that was really tough for me, and the shapes as well. Obviously, it's a little squished. I learned a lot from this one. I can't say that it's one of my favorites. I think mostly I just learned a lot on this one, and that was my takeaway from day number 7. Day number 8 was definitely one that I liked doing, and I kind of figured would be kind of easy. I don't really remember if I was feeling it that day or what, but at this point I was still going, like, each day I was doing one, and I wasn't cheating. I wasn't drawing one, or 2 every day, every other day or whatever. No, I was doing this every day up until like day 11. So this one was like, it's easy, I'll just do it. And it turned out to be a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Again, the metallic colors were a struggle for me. Still improving, some highlights, some shininess, and the shadows as well. But the proportions actually turned out okay on this one. I was surprised. Day number 9. So this was the first time I tried to draw one of my glitter bottles in a bunch of these little cute clear plastic bottles. I just thought it would be really fun to try to draw, and I had such a good time drawing these glitters. The cap definitely gave me some problems on this one. It was a lot of twists and lights and darks, and some were shiny and some weren't, and it was like a matted down metallic, and that is something I had not encountered up until now, so I really struggled with that. It definitely improves in the later times I used this, but I think it turned out okay. Day number 10. So this was a clear nail polish bottle, or like a top coat. One that I hadn't used in a long time, but I really liked the look of. This was like a rose gold, which I don't think I captured very well there. I wish I would have gotten the colors a little bit better than I did, and the perspective was really tough because it was almost like a looking down but on the side. So this one was kind of a mess. It was all over the place with color, perspective. Definitely one of my least favorite ones. Day number 11, and I was struggling. I was not doing well at this point. This was 11 days of continuous drawing something every day, and I was so burnt out. This was a geode, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to draw it at the time, but then once I started drawing it, I realized, oh my gosh, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. It didn't have any reflection from how I had the light positioned, and it didn't seem like I could get it to where you could see the beauty of the geode but also get some of that reflection in there, so it looks kind of flat, not much shadow or highlight to it. It just was kind of a mess. Day 12. Now this is where I took a little bit of a break. I took like a 2-day break, I think, between day 11 and day 12. I like routine, but when it comes to like forcing yourself to be creative every single day, man, that got to be a lot. So this is day 12, and I decided to just do a piece of painter's tape. I kind of crinkled it up and just stuck it there. I loved this one. As simple as it was, I thought it captured the light, the shadows, the shape, the texture, everything about it was just really fun to draw. So this was day 13. This one was fun because it kind of merged my 2 hobbies. I'm really into fish keeping, and I have this like master freshwater testing kit, a test tube from that. And not much to say about this one, honestly. It was just a really fun shape to draw. I just really liked the way the light hit it. Again, doing something glass was kind of new and challenging for me, so I really had a good time with this one. Day 14. So this one was just like a mold for something. I don't even know. I found it around my house thing. But it was just like a clear heart. I picked it so that I could get the see-through aspect, but then also have some dimension, get some shape to it. I think it turned out really well for day 14. So day 15 was interesting, and this is when there came a turn in the way I was doing things. So before, I would just show the 30-day challenge at the beginning of the book and then move on to it. This time I thought, let's be a little more spontaneous. Let's drop the safety pins onto the sheet and then do it from there. And I really liked doing it that way because there was a level of, I don't know what's gonna happen. How are they gonna lay? Day 16. Now this was a lot of people's favorite. So this was 4 more of the glitter bottles that I had. It was difficult to like zoom out almost in your vision and kind of just see what you're actually seeing. You know, you look at glitter and you're like, oh, that's shiny, that's pretty, but you don't actually think about where the highlights are. Where's the actual color that you can see? This, you can see it's pink, but down here it looks black. And that's something I never paid attention to before that I found really interesting with this one. Day 17 was the little necklace dream catcher, and it was really challenging to get all of these loop-de-loops in there without it feeling like my brain was gonna explode. Getting all of the highlights and things, again, this was metallic, so getting the gray in there but also making it look shiny, always a task. I really liked the way I did this black gem. I don't think it could have came out any more perfect. Day 18. This one was a challenge. This one was so hard, and I think it's because I had to make almost perfect circles with no erasing. And the fact that one of them is shiny, they have highlight spots, they're all different textures, different colors. The shadows were really difficult to do, but I had a blast doing it. Day 19 was super easy and simple. I didn't want to challenge that day. I was just like, let me just work on something I've been working on, which is metal. Just got a couple of key rings and some chains, and I was like, yep, that's it. That's all I'm doing today. And I think it turned out okay. I timed myself while doing it. I think it only took like 20 minutes. It was really fun and easy, and got my challenge done for the day. Day 20, another fan favorite. This one was awesome. I loved this one because it had a whole bunch of challenges. I mean, perspective, glare, see-through, you name it, it had it. I had to warp the keychain in here because that's how it looked in the reflection. The shadows were difficult because it was actually darker on the outside than on the inside, which isn't normal for shadows. And overall, one of the most challenging, but oh my gosh, was it so much fun. Day 21 was the mermaid tail. I think this one I thought was going to be harder than it actually was. Definitely in hindsight, but I think for just winging it, I think I did all right. I don't like how I placed the lights to where it was just a dot, 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 dot the whole time. But I redid this one in the last day, and I think it turned out phenomenal. So if I hadn't have tried this before, I think it wouldn't have turned out so good in the end. So I appreciate this one for sure. Day 22. Oh boy. This one was excruciatingly hard to do because not only was it focusing on my weakness, which is metal, but also the perspective was so difficult. This rounded edge right here, I thought it was going to be easy, and let me tell you, it was not. Even now, looking at it, I can see all of my mistakes. I think overall, I really had a good time with this one, and I would do it again, possibly in the future. Maybe in a few years, I'll do like a redo of all of these and see how far I've come. But I think it turned out really well, and I liked it a lot. Day 23. This one was special to me because I saw this butterfly and I thought it was just so cute, and it was Halloween-y colors, spooky season, and it was this pin that I knew I would actually use other than just to draw. I really liked the colors. It was like tie-dye with the emeralds in there, and the wings, the perspective was so hard on this one, but I am so glad that I did it and challenged myself because I think it turned out awesome. Day 24. This one was just a Hot Wheels car. I found it. I was like, yeah, I want to draw that. I have those colors. I can do this. And so I did it. I rolled it onto the page and I drew it, and I think it turned out really good. I definitely could have worked on the perspective a little more, given, if I could erase and stuff. I definitely think I could have nailed that a little bit better. But given the task, without erasing or anything, I think I did a smashing job. Day 25 and a scrunchie. So this was just one of my hair scrunchies. I thought the texture was really cool. I thought it would be interesting to see if I could get the highlights of a muted brown to come out, because it's like satin and kind of shiny, but also has really dark spots. And I think it was a really good thing to use for this, because man, it was difficult getting all of that and the perspective, the size, and everything correct. But overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I could have gotten some more lighter values out of it, but with the black paper, it was just really tough to pull that out. Day 26. I really didn't know what to draw, and I needed something quick, and so I chose my fidget toy. I think they call it a bicycle chain, but it's really fun to fidget with, and I was like, it's got some cool colors, it's got metal, you know, it's got circles, which are always hard to do when you can't erase. And I think it turned out really well. A lot of people liked it. I think I could have done better on the perspective, but I also was in a kind of a rush this day. Not much more to say about that other than it was difficult and I appreciate it. Day 27 was this little gnome I had picked up from the hobby store. I had all of the colors that I needed for this, which made it really easy. I started with the hat, the tippy top, and worked my way down, and that really helped me with perspective, because, you know, the size of the nose and relative size to the hat and the backpack to the shoulders and all of that, I think really helped me just to like printer style work from the top down. Day 28. This one is not my favorite by far. It turned out okay. You get the general gist, but the actual item itself was almost iridescent, and I don't know how to capture that in this, especially on this black paper. But I did my best, and all I can say is I would definitely like to try this one again in the future and see how far I've come, because this one was hard. Day 29 was one of my favorites. It was so challenging, but so fun to do. All of these different colors and tones to it, all these geometrical shapes and highlights and the metal. I was like, how could I not try this? I think I could have done better on getting the geometrical shapes more accurate. But in the future, again, I would like to try this again and see how far I can come, because I really like this one. I think I nailed it for where I am personally as an artist, but I really think I could do better in the future. Day 30, we made it. So this is just kind of a mixture of some things that I did in the past, some fan favorites, and some things that I really found challenging. Like I said, this turned out so much better, this little mermaid tail, than ever before. I mean, the light was better, the angles were better, it wasn't just straight on boring. Shadows better. I got the colors better, the highlights. I think overall I just love this so much more than I did when I first did it. As far as the glitter goes, I think I did okay. I think I did better than the first time, but I could have done better. I still like the way it turned out. I think I did a good job. This one, I think I nailed way better than I did the first time. Even though it's smaller, I made the perspective smaller than last time. I still think I did a much better job capturing that it's plastic than I did before. I just really appreciate how far I've come in 30 days, honestly, and it's been a blast. I would definitely do this again in the future. I don't know, with different items, or if I want to just do all these again. That would be so fun. I hope you guys would love to see more, and leave a comment below and tell me what you think I should try next time, or what I should do for the next 30 days. I am all for your suggestions, so let me know. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.